2014 is likely to be the first year since the recording industry of America began certifying records where no artist will go platinum, which is to say it doesn't look like any artist is going to sell more than 1 million studio albums this year. This may seem surprising in the year of Beyonce, Lorde, and Coldplay, but so far none have even crossed the 800,000 mark. Now, the Frozen soundtrack sold over 3 million copies, but we are talking about studio albums, which Frozen as a soundtrack technically was not. So now the question remains, is 2014 the year that platinum albums die? Joining me to discuss this is Joel Freemark of Death and Taxes. He wrote a great article about this. How you doing, Joel?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Man, thank you so much for coming on. Now, tell me this. What's the reason that you think in particular this has been such a weak year for sales?
You know, I don't think it was that much of a surprise. This wasn't sudden. This has been a steady decline. I don't think anyone in the industry is surprised. I think this year was different because it was combined with one big factor, that steady slide, but no big names dropped an album this year. Those records you referred to, the Beyonce record and Lorde, those were both late 2013 releases. Last year we also had Jay-Z, Kanye, Justin Timberlake, Gaga. Pop stars and hip hop stars released tons of big records out last year, so we just don't have them this year. I think that's what a large part of it is.
And so you think next year if one of those artists that you mentioned put out a record, we might see 1 million?
I think we might. Taylor Swift has that record coming out next week, and I think it's got a shot. I don't think it's going to go 2, 3, 4 times platinum like her past ones have, but I think it might.
Okay, now this is a bigger question. If you got the answer to it, you win $1 million. What adjustments can the industry make to get that trajectory to start going back up? Anything?
I mean, yeah, I think it's time for them to adapt. They've been fighting the change for years and years, and they don't have a choice anymore. It's time for them to embrace mobile culture. They have to get creative with release campaigns. They can't just say, here's our new record, come buy it. The release date is this date, because I think it's a fair thing to say every single album leaks before release, and people just aren't lining up at music stores anymore. I think they need to go to their marketing departments and their creative departments and find different ways to embrace where their audience is. That's on mobile devices and things like that, YouTube, Spotify, and just get creative.
So you think there's still a market for buying albums, though?
I don't think there's a market for buying CDs anymore. The indie rock genre and smaller labels have shown that people will absolutely still turn up to buy vinyl. Vinyl has a massive resurgence this year, but I think that's a very small crowd. I don't think the mainstream audience is going to be huge into that. So it's finding ways to market digital music.
All right, I'm going to give you one sentence to answer this question. What is the state of music based on what you're seeing on these album sales?
The state of music? I think it's awesome. I mean, everybody likes to go around and say, current music is terrible, current music sucks. People are just lazy when they say that. They're not digging hard enough. You have the internet at your fingertips, and to say there's no good music out there, it's just a lie. I mean, even in 2014, we had Prince, Jack White, Jeff Ortiz, Nile, Clipping, Emily Danger, Aphex Twins. So many artists have put out amazing records this year. They didn't go platinum, probably because of the decline of in-store sales, but there is amazing music all over the world.
Well, thank you so much for coming. This man wrote a great article about what we were talking about on Death and Taxes. Make sure you check it out. Sibley, what's up?